Well, this is Ben from Radio Parts, and I'm very excited to have these two little beauties in my hands today. These are the newest addition to Yamaha's MusicCast range of multi-room audio, the WXA-50 and the WXC-50. That's their preamp and their amplifier. Got a brand new unboxing for you today, so without further ado, let's get into it and let's have a look. Alright, I'm going to start with the WXC-50. This is the preamplifier. The idea with the preamp is that you can hook it into any other set of active speakers or any existing amplifier that you might have and add MusicCast functionality to it. A fantastic product. I'm really excited by these. I saw them on demo or the final engineering samples not that long ago at Integrate, and here we go. Alright, in traditional fashion we've got all the boring stuff up front. We've got a couple of little feet. These units, we're told, can work equally well whether you're setting them upright or horizontally. We've got little credit card style remote control. Little buttons on this one, by the way. If you press and hold these when you're doing a particular action like playing NAS audio or playing a particular internet radio station or whatever it is you're doing, press and hold them, that becomes your preset. So if you want Spotify to come on every time you want, press and hold. Very cool. Manual and sticky feet. Yes, manuals. One Wi-Fi and Bluetooth antenna. And here we go. Alright, now I have to be very careful as I'm pulling all this apart because I'm actually stealing these for just this little while from one of my customers before we ship them out to him, because we've pre-sold all of them. So really cool. Power cable, of course. But here is the beastie itself. So let's get inside. And ta-da, there we go. We have one new MusicCast preamp. Alright, give you a quick look for now. And I'm going to open up the other one and then I'll talk about the differences between the two. Okay, now and onto the little amplifier. This is the WXA-50. This one allows you to hook up any pair of speakers that you've already got and add MusicCast capability to it. So I think ceiling speakers, outside speakers, anything else you want to throw at it. Got certainly enough power to be able to drive it. I'll talk about that when I talk about the comparisons. Again, we've got a manual. Again, we've got a remote control. We've got feet. We've got a Wi-Fi antenna. This is getting boring now. All the same stuff. Power cable, of course, and super exciting. Oh, she's a bit heavier, this one. And underneath the sleek little dress of foam, we have, there we go, the WXA-50. There it is. Quick look at the back, and then we're going to talk about them more in a second. Okay, so the boxes are now empty of all the important stuff. They're sitting right here. So we've got the amplifier here and the preamp here. You can see there's a few visual differences between the two. From the front, you can see the knobs and the dials are slightly different between the two. We've obviously got different branding, but the rest of the indicators look more or less the same. And if you see the two together, very sleek. They have this two-tone metal finish. The preamp's the amplifier's quite heavy, and the preamp's just a little bit lighter, but still with a serious amount of weight. On the back of them, this is the preamp and the amplifier. We've got similar connections. We've got antennas on both. This is for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. On this side, we've got the AC and optical inputs. We've got hardwired Ethernet ports on both. I tend to prefer Ethernet for my connections. They give you better audio quality, generally speaking, and you're not trapped by whatever Wi-Fi you might have or Wi-Fi issues you might have. And to that fact, you can actually switch off the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth on both of them, just with a little switch there. You've got triggered inputs and outputs. The idea with these is if you've got something like a subwoofer, you could trigger it to turn on every time you turn this unit on. And of course this has got wake on network. So if you've got the app going and you press on and turn on, it will actually turn on the unit from there as well. You can also control it from the front buttons. You've got a 5-volt USB port. It's primarily used for music on USB sticks and things like that at the moment. You've got auxiliary ins and outs, so that's your RCA, stereo RCA line level in and out. This one, of course, has got a pre-out on it, which this one doesn't. You've got a subwoofer out, and a remote control. That's an infrared direct input for it. So if you've got a control system, your infrared direct in is going to make that very, very convenient. That's on both of them as well. Where you'll see the biggest differences is right over on this side here. So on the preamp, we've got a pre-out set of stereo RCAs. We've got an optical out and a coax digital out as well. So in theory, if you plugged an optical into this one for your, say, TV, to run the sound for that, you could also preamp that out into an optical amplifier or something similar, or convert internally to coax. Can't quite imagine why you want to do that, but it's there anyway. If you've got, say, a sound bar that you're running off this one, well, you've got the optical in from the TV, add this in the middle, optical out to the sound bar. There you go, thought of one way to use it. Otherwise, you can convert it into an amplifier that has all kinds of different types of optical and coax inputs, but doesn't have MusicCast capability. Alright, on this side, of course, you've got the speaker outputs. So, put this one down. Over here, we've got banana and binding posts for your cables, and you can see they have got a big fat hole through the middle of those, so you can put some heavy duty speaker cable into that. It's great for home integrators that have to run speaker cables a long way. Obviously 4mm banana inputs as well if you prefer to run it that way. The output power on the amp is 105 watts at 4 ohms into stereo channels. It's 70 watts into 6 ohms into stereo, and 55 watts into 8 ohms into stereo. So it's got a fair amount of power for pretty much any type of speaker you want to throw at it. So put a couple of these into a rack. They're only 214mm wide, so you can fit 2 of them widthways on a 19-inch rack. Take the feet off, these just unscrew, and you'll fit 2 of them onto a one-use space. Put a shelf in, put another set of them, and another set, and another set. So your multi-room, speakers in the ceiling, box speakers outside, by the pool, whatever you want to do, by the barbecue. Fantastic way to do it all. Now these were held up by Yamaha for a very interesting little issue. They were basically ready to go a couple of months ago, but Yamaha were not happy with the finish on the dials on the front. So they took them back to the factory, remade them for that very, very minor thing. Everything else worked perfectly, but just for those, so that we could get them here in perfect quality that they are now. Awesome, awesome addition to Yamaha's MusicCast range. And the MusicCast system basically brings every audio source from anywhere to anywhere else you want to be. So I think their line is something like, the MusicCast system brings everything to everywhere from everyone. So Bluetooth in, Bluetooth out on these. Spotify and Pandora, optical ins, run a phono record player into your home theatre amplifier with MusicCast and play it back on your speakers outside. Awesome system, and these two are going to be fantastic additions to the range. Now, I've got to stop caressing these. I need to put them back in their boxes, make them look like they've never been touched, and get them on the road this afternoon to my customer. And a big shout out to Colin Couch from CC Installations in Launceston for letting me unbox his 2 of his little units here. I need to stop touching them now. All right, thanks for paying attention. Hit up our radioparts.com.au webpage if you find out more about them. And you can also go to follow any of the rest of our videos on YouTube, and head over to our Twitter page as well. I've been Ben for Radio Parts, and these are the rather excellent WXA and WXC-50 models from Yamaha.